I would be on the floor. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, but you see, look, for human beings, when
I'm not convinced.
So if you've done a Ouija board and you found that the devil was real, would you become a Satanist?
Oh no.
Okay.
That's where I fell into a trap in my own logic, and I'll use that word again, trap, because this was a trap then. I don't know. What do you mean by using a Ouija board and then believing in the devil?
Well, there'd be evidence to prove that the devil.
So how would we come to this conclusion? Would the Ouija board spell out devil?
Thank you.
Would that be more likely
let's
that my
say
friends
you've done it with 4 people that you trust and none of them moved it, and you found that things were moving in the room.
Well, now you say trust.
Okay. You know. Let's put it this way. You know the universe that we see. Yes. To me, that is something that a miracle. That it didn't create itself. It did not originate from nothing. So the question to you was, this miracle, which I would call this universe, which I would call a miracle. Yes. All this, you see some sort of an order, some sort of a purpose and a function in everything in the universe, from the smallest atom to the greatest of galaxies.
Yeah.
You see, we got billions of galaxies. Yes, millions and billions of galaxies. All this, the huge universe. Do you think it came from nothing?
You mentioned one of the falsifications.
Do you think it came from nothing?
I don't know.
So what's
Okay, logically, could it come from nothing?
So there's 482.
Could something come from nothing?
Yes, logically, no. So we have to have something which has given rise to all this.
This is where I would say I still don't know.
Okay, so
I mean, there's the multiverse.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Even the multiverse,
You
it has to
entertain
come.
that theory?
Yeah, even for the multiverse, it cannot create itself.
For sure.
It cannot come from nothing.
But what I'm basically going to get is there's going to be a point where we're always learning.
Yes.
If it's one universe and then next minute it's a multiverse, what's it after that?
No, I'm not talking about what has already been created. I'm taking it backwards. Like, could it all have come from nothing? Okay, you said logically no. Yes, and I tend to agree with that. Now the next question is, could it have created itself?
I don't know.
Okay? I mean, for obviously something to create itself, it's impossible, isn't it? For example, if I told you a car created
I get
itself.
But when it comes down to things like quantum fluctuations, the Higgs boson, I don't know. I'm not a physicist. If anyone can hear.
I don't expect you or me to know all the answers, but I'm just asking you, in logically understanding, if you break it down to the minimalistic, most simplistic notion, yes, to just the principle of something coming from nothing, yes, it's not plausible. It's not something that is
I completely agree. Yeah.
rationally acceptable. You see what I mean? So the question arises, okay, now we say that it came from something. All we have to do is now define what this something is. This something, yes, cannot be caused by something else, because then something else would be greater than this something. So it has to be an uncaused cause.
What if the universe has been around forever? Ask him that.
What do you mean forever? Do you think?
What if the universe has been around forever? Doesn't have a finite start point?
Is that logically possible?
Yeah, why not?
The infinite regression issue comes in?
Well, what's wrong? What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about, if something existed all the time, yes, then it has to, for example, if I told you, like, if you go to a library and you wanted to borrow a book and there were infinite number of people in front of you, would you ever get a book?
How does that model what's happening if the universe has an infinite past?
Yeah, something that is infinite,
Yeah.
it has no beginning, then the principle of infinite regression, it basically doesn't satisfy that principle.
But where's the
Like
contradiction?
just like you would never get a book when there's an infinite number of people in front of you. This earth wouldn't exist if there were infinite number of galaxies or infinite number of universes before it, because it is something that is the principle of infinite regression.
Well, that's like saying that Zeno's paradox is a thing, because there are an infinite number of events between 1 second ago and now, but yet we're still able to traverse those infinite number of events to get to now.
No, but for that infinite number to take place, it must have some cause. You see, everything has a cause and effect. So what is the cause that caused this, even if you call it multiverses or something? What is the cause that brought it into existence?
Well, there is no start. There is no first cause. there's an infinite past. It's always existed.
There's no proof for that one anyway.
Well,
But,
yeah,
you know, according to
there's
Big Bang,
there's
you know,
no
there's
proof
a lot
for
of
it.
proof.
But like, why can you say it's impossible?
Just I told you, just like the way you will never get a book in a library, the
But-
principle of
but
infinite regression
you
needs
aren't-
that
you aren't trying
it has
to look
to.
in a library.
Sorry, that's an
aren't-
analogy. It's an analogy.
Okay, but does the analogy, what does the structure of the logic of the analogy model what's actually happening in the universe?
Well, if you want to bring up this postulation of an infinite universe,
Yeah.
then yes, the analogy would be correct in that place.
No, but
Just like you would never get a book, you would never exist if
No,
there
but
was an
you-
infinite number
yeah,
of.
but when something happens, it's not as if you aren't lining up at the library desk to get out a book. That's not what happens in the universe.
No, it's an analogy. You don't have to.
Yeah, but like the logic of the analogy doesn't match the logic of what actually happens in the universe, though.
But you don't know if that actually happens. Yours was also a postulation. You don't know exactly if the universe did. You see what I mean?
You can't discount and say no, it's impossible that the universe is.
No, it's a false equivocation if you're trying to say that the universe is something that is eternal. This is just a postulation.
Okay, but
It's
you're,
not something
you're saying
that-
that can't be the case and that's impossible. And
Well,
I
you have to
don't
give
see-
evidence for that. You can't just say it's infinite. Have you got any evidence that it's infinite?
But you tried to discount it just now. and
No.
I don't see why
Okay, if you look at the universe is expanding.
Yeah.
All right. So at one point there must be a point where it
Right.
actually was something much more smaller.
Sure.
Yes.
But
and-
like that doesn't mean that the Big Bang was the beginning of all existence, though.
No, but even if the Big Bang wasn't, yes, the fact that the universe is expanding.
Yeah, but
It shows that-
the Big Bang doesn't necessarily mean like what we current. So there are different meanings of the word universe. There's like the universe is in everything that has ever existed and will ever exist, and everything that exists now. That's one definition. And then there's also the definition of everything that resulted from the Big Bang. So if you say everything resulted from the Big Bang is expanding, that's true, but we can't necessarily say that everything that has ever existed and everything that is in existence anywhere is resulting from the Big Bang.
Okay, so where does it result from then?
But it might be like a structure that we haven't seen yet because we don't have access to it.
Okay, so if you
Our
don't know,
our physical instruments might not be able to detect it.
no, but if you don't know it, then can you say it existed?
We can't discount that.
So
it
you're
does exist.
speculating.
Yeah, because if you're trying to tell someone you can't believe that the universe has always existed, like you haven't given a proof for why it doesn't.
No, but you're
exist.
making the claim, so you should give the proof that it always existed.
No, what I'm demonstrating is that you can't say it definitely doesn't exist.
No,
which-
my friend,
which-
the onus.
Was that what you were trying to
Listen,
do?
listen.
I think that's what you were trying
The
to
onus
do.
is on you because you're the one who's making the claim that it always existed.
No, what I'm claiming is that your reasons for saying that it doesn't exist, I don't see them as valid. That's the claim I'm making.
Okay,
Because
if it doesn't exist, yes, I really don't have an issue that there is no such thing as an eternal universe.
yeah.
I have no issue denying that. But if you're making a positive case that yes, it is possible that it exists, then the onus is clearly on you to provide the evidence for that.
But-
Because the question is there, if you look at from the contingency angle, do you believe that there is a necessity for the universe to exist?
Do I believe? Well, it depends what you mean by necessity.
You're saying-
Does it
that
have to
something-
exist?
We know that something exists right now.
Okay, does it have to exist, the universe,
Well, I have to from whose perspective?
from your perspective?
Well, it would. I mean, we could interpret "have to" as meaning, would it make sense for it not to exist? I'd say no. Like we know that something exists right now because we're able to perceive and feel sensations.
Because if you're talking about an infinite universe, an eternal
Yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
you're either saying that the universe generates itself or creates itself. Do you believe the universe has some sort of consciousness and intelligence to be able to do that?
I'm not making any claim about whether the universe has an intelligence.
No, I'm asking you.
What?
Because you see, in order for
I'm not certain, but we haven't detected a universal intelligence, so I'd say no. We haven't detected some physical process that we can kind of interact with, like a talking galaxy or that sort of thing.
okay, so basically the answer is no. There's no intelligence.
Well, we
that
haven't
it can
detected
create
it.
itself
We
or produce.
we haven't detected a universal intelligence.
Well, we haven't detected infinite universes either.
Well,
but you seem to have postulated.
We wouldn't know whether or not the universe is infinite or not.
We can speculate till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, if you
right,
want to get
but
it down to the truth, then I need to ask this question to you: that if it doesn't have intelligence, if it cannot create itself, and if it cannot come from nothing either, the question is, where did it come from?
Well, no. Like the reason why I entered this was because it sounded like you tried to persuade someone that it's impossible that the universe could have existed forever, and I don't find your.
Well, I'm asking you the question. You don't.
Your attempts to persuade me, I haven't found very.
It's not persuading you, my friend. I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm asking you if you're making this theory, if you're claiming this theory.
I'm not.
Let me finish my question. Let me finish my question so you understand. Yeah. Okay. If you're making this claim that it is possible for there to be infinite universes, yes, then surely you must have some idea as to either A, it came from something, or B, it created itself.
Well, if the universe is infinite, then it wouldn't have been created because it has always been in existence.
No, but is there anything that you know of that is infinitely existing?
Well, is there anything I know of that is infinitely existing?
Yeah.
Well, since